What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the FansToys Dunerunner, their version of a Masterpiece Beachcomber. So I just got this recently. I did do a quick live preview. I usually don't do that. Paik has got an influence on me now. And I did notice, for one thing, they did change the name. So it was Dune Rider, and now it says Dunerunner. So that's not a typo. I thought it was a typo when Paik did his, but it's not. They just changed the name for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. But here he is, and he looks really, really cool. Let's take a quick 360. As always, we'll put the G1 cartoon there so you can take a look. I do notice that from certain angles, the chest looks way too light. But from head on, it looks really good. In person, I would say I love the silver on that chest and up here, but it does look a little bit light on the camera. Really clean. There's nothing going on the legs, on the back. I mean, just unbelievably how clean this guy is. And he obviously, he looks like the cartoon. Of course, with that FansToys style, they've adapted. All the accessories you get with this guy, quite a bit of stuff. So you do get, let's start with these panels. So this panel is really only going to fit in the vehicle mode, so we'll set that aside for now. You do get these other side panels. You can just peg those in right there. I actually really like them, so they're pretty sturdy. They don't seem to fall off of him, so that's well designed. All right, and then you get these alternate heads, and let's see if I can get in close on all of these. So there are the heads. So you've got the standard face, which is just a, half smile sort of. You've got the straight face on this one, which is, that's okay. And then you've got the big smiling, laughing face. This guy was always a happy dude. But I love these faces. I think they did such a good job capturing the character and just giving us an option for, displaying this guy. In order to change out those heads, you need a screwdriver, and you can just loosen the screw a little bit right here, and you can pop the head off, and then you can put another one on, and you can tighten the screw back on. And there he is with that really cool visor. I think this is from the show where he was like tripping out, even though they didn't explain it that way, but that's pretty crazy. That looks really cool. I also get the gun, so typical Masterpiece thing. These hands are very sharp. I've found myself multiple times hurting myself trying to open up these hands. I'm just going to stick a spudger in there. So it just has a tab, and you just put it in there. Fits very nicely, secure, looks good. So those are all the accessories you get with this guy. Really appropriate and nice accessories for Dunerunner. Let's go over his articulation. We're gonna leave this head on there. I like this head. So it is on a ball peg, so you get a rotation. You get the side to side. It is a little bit tight, I will admit that. But you do get all the, and then you get up. Oops. You can kind of cheat and get that panel up, but you get up to there, down to there. If you wanted to cheat, you can lift up that panel. For certain pictures, you can get the shoulder up to there, rotates all the way around, very tight joints on everything here. Rotation at the bicep, single jointed elbow gets you 90 degrees. A rotation at the wrist, although it's a little bit hindered by this panel here, but that's accurate to the character. And then you get a hand that's very sharp that I don't want to open with my fingers. A single pinned hand that gets you open up to there. It's a really nice, up to there. You get a rotation at the waist. It goes all the way around. You do have an ab crunch. I'm going to call this an ab crunch. So he gets all the way down to there. It is supposed to be pegged in here on the back. So this panel pegs into the back, but you can articulate it and get him a really nice ab crunch. In my opinion, that counts as an ab crunch. You do have hip skirts here. You get legs up to there, back to there, out to there. Rotation at the thigh. I always forget the rotation at the thigh. You have a double jointed knee. So there's a joint there and there's a joint there. So you can bend that first joint and then you can get it past 90 degrees. If you just bend at the bottom, it ends up colliding. So bend at the top joint first, and then you can get it that extra degree of motion, which is really, really nice. I like that a lot. You get ankle tilt all the way out to there, which is really nice. Ankle pivot this way. I always debate with people. They always say, you know, I called ankle tilt, ankle pivot, or vice versa. I don't really care. I just mean the two movements in both directions. So I really love the way this guy looks in the robot mode. I think they did a great job with this guy. Let's do some quick comparison. All right, here we have some other bots for comparison. Here's a FansToys version of Hound. They're calling Willis. Here's Takara Tomy Blue Streak and the DX9 Power Glide. And he looks good. He's about the same size as at least this mini bot. And we'll take a look in his vehicle mode how he sizes up. But in terms of the robot mode, I really like the size. I really like the scale with the other bots. Now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. And it's a very fun transformation. I really like it. Go ahead and take the gun out and set that aside. And now we will start with the arms. By the way, he comes with instructions, but I always love when Pate gets these first because he does such a good job with his transformation instructions, and it really helps us out. But I recommend watching his video, but I'm also going to do it for you so you can watch this one too. So go ahead and close up the arms and get that collapse down. If it's not fitting, you've got to make an adjustment, push that in a little bit further, and it should tab right back in. All right, same on this side. Go ahead and do this one. And now we get the arms squared away. We're going to take care of the upper body. So go ahead and unpeg the head or the neck from the body. And go ahead and open this up. That's going to give you access to all the stuff down here. And you can kind of open up this panel, and that'll get this open here. And you want to get the head kind of tucked away in here. And it's not going to go all the way in. It's going to go like partially the way in there. So it's going to end up flat like this with, you know, the head sticking out a little bit. You're not going to see it later, but. And then you're going to push this panel in. And that's going to go all the way in. So that's as far as it goes. You should get it up to there. All right. So now we can start unfolding this guy. So go ahead and fold here at the waist. And we can pull out this piece here, and that's where all the vehicle stuff is kind of stored. It's really neat how this goes together. And then go ahead, you can pull this piece out and just set that back here for a second. And we're going to open this up, and on the back you've got these two panels, so flip out those panels. And then you can push that back down and just kind of flattening this out so you can see. You're going to press this in to here so you can see that there's little pegs, or not pegs, little tabs that are going to go in on the side there. They don't seem to go very easily. You know, now that I've transformed them a few times, it's a little bit better, but I've noticed that they're pretty tight, and that's because of the paint on this guy. By the way, I forgot to mention, he's fully painted, 100% painted all the way through, other than this cage here. So go ahead and peg the arms in. You'll see there's a tab right there and a slot right there. So go ahead and push that in. And again, that's another thing. The first few times, it probably won't peg in very easily. But once you transform this guy a few times, it will go in nice and smoothly. Okay. So don't plug this in yet because you got to do that a little bit later. And the reason is because we need to be able to lift this up. All right, so leave this all kind of like this. Now we're going to take care of the legs. So legs are kind of fun. So go ahead and open up this panel here. And then go ahead and lift up this panel here. And just move it to the inside. And that's going to allow you to flip up this light. And then you can accordion all of that out. And just leave it there for a second because we're going to take care of all that. So just leave all that stuff out. Same for this foot. You're going to basically disassemble his foot. And there's a panel there. All right. Next, we're going to get this kind of configured for his vehicle mode. So go ahead and fold this foot down. And if you see there's a double jointed knee, you're going to have to push that down. so it makes good contact, and it should all sit nice and flush. So you'll see flush there, you'll see it all flush down here. If you didn't get a flush, then you probably don't have these joints folded correctly. Okay, and then we're going to take care of the rest of this. So go ahead and come down here. You're going to tab this into here. There's 2 tabs right there, so go ahead and push that in. And then go here and fold this forward and fold this into the front. Then we're going to take this side and do the same thing. So okay, we should end up with something like this. And you know, these 2 did tab together here on the front. And now we got to take care of the rest of this. So on the bottom, take this panel, push it down, and then it's going to tab in right here. So go ahead and push that in, and you should feel that peg in. If it's not lining up, then you may have some of the other panels out of place. But same here, go ahead and push that in. Make sure you have these panels out. Okay. And then we're going to take care of these lights. So go ahead and rotate that around. You'll see there's a little bump right there, and there's a slot inside the light. So that's going to go on that bump. Same on this side. And those just sit just like that. All right, we're getting the home stretch. You go ahead and open this up and kind of hold this with your finger. And this is going to kind of collapse into here. And you're going to push this downwards, and it's going to peg into the bottom there. So you should feel it click into what's underneath there. Same for this. You can push this and give it a little firm push. And all these panels should be pegged in nice and secure. You can just re-secure them. And then here you're going to do that. Right? And this metal feels really nice, by the way. And there is Dunerunner, all transformed into his vehicle mode. And it is really good looking. So, looks like this. That is one of the issues, is this thing doesn't necessarily always stay in place, but it does roll very nicely. It feels very solid. It's got that premium feel to it. You can take these off if you want to. I don't know why you would want to, but just to show you the other accessory, we will get this thing off. It's a little bit tight. And I prefer that it's tight so that you can actually make sure it stays on. But you can use this one here. So I find that this one is a little bit harder to get in. It doesn't want to stay, but there it is with that. Or you could just have the look without it. Me personally, I think it looks really good with these. I'm probably going to leave these on here. It looks fine in robot mode. I don't have any issue with having those on in robot mode. It matches this silver color here on the back. I like the details. Oh, we forgot to put the seats up. Sorry, that's one little transformation detail I forgot, is you want to put these seats up. You probably won't be able to fit anybody in there. Daniel definitely does not fit in there, so I'm not going to even bother showing that, but looks really good. It's got some really nice detail. There is a steering wheel in there. So you've got the shift knob and you've got the steering wheel. You got the seats, you got these back here. I mean, it just really looks good all around. You got the light detail there on the front. Nice tires and wheels. All around, really nicely done. You can store this gun, and that fits right here. It's a little bit tricky to get in, so you probably want to just detach this and then put this in and then reattach. And there you go. He's got that nice gun mounted in there for vehicle storage. So let's get some other vehicles in here for comparison. There he is with a few other vehicles. You got the FansToys Hunk, their version of Brawn. You've got the Takara Tomy Masterpiece Bumblebee, and then you got the Transform Element Optimus. And really nice size here. So a little bit smaller in terms of height to the Hunk. Almost exactly the same length as him. Almost the same length as the Bumblebee, which kind of makes sense, and almost the same height. But Bumblebee was always a little bit small in terms of his vehicle mode, in terms of width. But for funsies, we're going to do a little bit of weight comparison. So here is the Bumblebee, comes in at 2¼ ounces. And the FansToys Dunerunner comes in at 7¼ ounces, or for my international folks, 207 grams. So nice weight to him. Let's just compare 234 grams. So very close weight to the FansToys hunk, but really solid and good build there. So final thoughts on this guy. This is a spectacular release by FansToys. It has everything I would want. It has accessories. It's got articulation. It looks great in both modes. It's fun to transform, which is not always true for FansToys figures. I would argue that some of them are not fun. And it looks good. I mean, everything about it. I don't have any complaints. The only complaint I would have is I had a little trouble getting this pegged in the vehicle mode, but because you've got these, I don't even need this part. It's going back in the box. But just awesome. And then you also get a lot of looks. You can take these off if you want. You can get different heads. You can put the other heads on. I like these cool glasses. I just think they're so unique. But yeah, I have nothing to complain about this. Honestly, it just is a knockout figure from FansToys. I don't have Arcos with me. I sold that, but it wouldn't even be worth my time to compare this to Arcos because it is on another level. It's solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart like you did with Arcos. And so, honestly, if someone sends that my way, I'll definitely do a comparison. But I'll just tell you right now, it's not even close. It's a total, it totally destroys that old figure. And that was a good effort for the time, but this is definitely going to win over that. So, highly recommend it. Even if you're not a big Minibot fan, this is just a very fun robot. I do like the fact that you can get this pegged in and kind of have him sort of solidified, but then you can also have him in a cool pose. So he just is really fun. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.